were familiar with what the New York Times' Shane Goldmacher reported earlier this week. And he compared all the counties in the United States over the election years 2012, 16, 2020, 2024, and the extraordinary movement of the Latino community, Latino voters, into Donald Trump's camp, away from what they called part of the Obama coalition in 2012, part of what got Obama elected, I'm sure, in 2008, but then again the second election when he was reelected in 2012. And yet, the Trump administration is targeting those that they call illegals, a phrase that we do not use here on MSNBC.
Right.
This is about enforcing the law, and again, we're not going to apologize for doing it. We're stepping up. She says they're going to mobilize. Well, guess what? We're already ahead of the game. We're already mobilizing. We're going to bring National Guard in tonight.
They're coming out. They're coming out. Watch out! Fuck you!
You told me you got caught up in the tear gas as well. Describe what happened to you.
Oh, just tasted a little tear gas. Tasted like fascism.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is that the riots in LA continue to rage on and make things significantly worse. The military is starting to be deployed as we have now, like the Marines. We already have the National Guard that was deployed yesterday, and we have a whole bunch of Democrats going around and pretty much defending the terrorism and riots of LA. Now, normally you would think that people would just go and look at this and you say, like, that's, people want to do that, but that's not what the Democrats do. See, the Democrats, they like disorder and destruction. They support people that are coming into our country and destroying it. They also support foreign flags being in our country, where I'm really wondering on how this is just really going on. Now, again, this is very curious and weird behavior with the Democratic Party in itself. And I'm starting to wonder on how we're just allowing this to happen here, how we're just continuing to do this. And it's really quite asinine on where the Democrats are continuing to lie with their propaganda. And of course, you have the media here defending the rioters, defending the terrorists. They're saying this is just a peaceful protest. It's just a protest. It's not a riot. The media is not your ally. The media is not your friend. And the media is lying to you, while as they did back in 2020 with the Summer of Love, where they say, like, there's just a peaceful protest, yet there is fire, destruction, and chaos, and people throwing things at police officers that is in the background there. So you could already tell here what the biases are and how corrupt and bad the media is. So without further ado, my friends, let's just go to the actual clip here of the Democrats pretty much supporting riots and terrorism.
Looking like things are getting chaotic.
A large crowd of law enforcement come out.
We have, oh my God, we have tear gas, we have fireworks going off, tear gas is in the air, people are dispersing. I can't see anything. I'm sorry, I can't see anything.
Lauren, back up if you can. We want you to be safe first and foremost. So, Lauren, please.
That scoop right here. Look, oh man, everyone's in there looting, bro. Looters, bro. Straight loot. Look at this. That's so sad. What is this? Look at this. Oh my god. I can't. You want to risk me getting stabbed or something?
Demonstrations had been going on right outside the Federal Detention Center. Most of those demonstrators were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting. People were driving by, honking their horns. And again, they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many immigrants at the Federal Center. Most of the evening, the federal agents stayed inside the building, but at a certain point, some of the demonstrators got very close to the property. In fact, some of them went onto the property, started tagging the building, started banging on fences. And shortly after all that happened, the agents started firing off tear gas, and then they came.
And I remember 1992 very well, that one of the worst things you can do is have an extreme presence of law enforcement that gets everybody agitated, and the violence actually escalates.
We agree that if you're being violent, you should be arrested. You should be prosecuted. There is no disagreement on that. I think that's an effort that we can all say. But this is not what's happening. We are having an administration that's targeting peaceful protests, people that are there to protest. The president is sending the National Guard because he doesn't like the scenes. He doesn't like the scenes of people peacefully protesting. And we know that California law enforcement, local law enforcement, they're there to protect the public. They're there to protect and have public safety. And that's what they're there to do. Now, when people turn on law enforcement is when you get that response. So we want to make sure that people continue to speak up, that people show up, but that people are peaceful about the situation. And that's what we're continuing to tell people.
Remember that these large-scale protests downtown and in Paramount did not happen until ICE agents began conducting arrests in courthouses when people were doing their immigration hearing check-ins, and in other workplace raids. And these are the types of actions that are not going after serious, dangerous criminals or drug traffickers. They're targeting just everyday folks who have been here, most of them a long time, who are undocumented. So it doesn't surprise me that there's this pushback from the communities when they feel that their schools, even their hospitals, the courthouses are not safe. And they're concerned about friends, family, loved ones who may be undocumented. And now my sense, I'll tell you, this is just based on speaking with my relatives in Los Angeles. My sense is that many of the people we see in the streets protesting, they are not actually undocumented, because I'll tell you, undocumented people live a very precarious life. They do their best to stay away from law enforcement. So my sense is this is really a community movement stepping forth just in anger and frustration at the pace and the intensity of these attempts at mass deportations and the ICE raids.
What Trump did yesterday is not typical and quite extreme given the circumstances on the street. Even though there was unrest, that's why police departments exist. When a president federalizes under Title X, the National Guard, he puts them under his authority to be deployed without knowledge of what the rules of engagement are, what the mission is, how are they going to work with locals, and does have the risk of heightening tensions rather than de-escalating. In law enforcement, you want to de-escalate the tensions, arrest those who have committed crimes, permit First Amendment protest, which is allowed.
The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles. And again, any violence against police officers should not be accepted. Local authorities can handle that. But remember, a lot of these peaceful protests are being generated because the President of the United States is sowing chaos and confusion by arresting people who are showing up for their immigration hearings, who are trying to abide by the law. He's arresting them. And you see this in communities that are Republican, Trump supporters, being outraged that he's raiding kitchens and arresting people, high schools, and arresting people who are not what he said he would do, which is focus law enforcement resources on violent criminals and people that are a danger to other Americans.
Now, there is a lot more to this that I have to cover, and I can't cover it all because of the 2-day time span, but I will cover it throughout either today, if not tomorrow, because it's all developing by the day with every 3 hours, so I can only get so much information. But what we have now is just this, where we have Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass pretty much saying they're defending the riots as well. And they are, first of all, Karen Bass is the mayor of LA. And then you have Gavin Newsom, which is the governor of California. So you would think that these people would not do this, but no. Instead, they say it's deplorable and bad for Donald Trump to send out the National Guard to quell these riots that is happening in LA.
Bass is still standing with the protesters, saying she's fighting for all Angelenos regardless of immigration status, and doubling down that LA is a city of migrants, leaving out the illegal part. But the people on the side, as Karen Bass, are threatening ICE agents, spray painting death to ICE on dumpsters. Them on Gavin Newsom also weighing in on the riots and blame them on, get this, President Trump, accusing him of tearing families apart.
Yeah, so what you have here is that you have Gavin Newsom pretty much just going out and blaming Donald Trump and all this, saying Donald Trump's chaos is eroding trust, tearing families apart, and undermining the workers and industries that power America's economy, which is completely insanity here. There is riots happening in your own city and your own state, Newsom, and you're not doing a bloody damn thing about it. Do something, you corrupt, terrible governor. I cannot stand this governor. He is a terrible person. He is god-awful. Like, your own state is under siege by foreigners by the looks of it, and you're just saying, oh, it's Donald Trump's fault. F you. We have this here from Pete Hegseth that goes to say that the violent mob assaults on ICE and federal law enforcement are designed to prevent the removal of criminal illegal immigrant aliens from our soil. A dangerous invasion facilitated by criminal cartels, aka foreign terrorist organizations, and a huge national security risk. Under President Trump, violence and destruction against federal agents and federal facilities will not be tolerated. It's common sense. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support federal enforcement in LA. And if violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. They are on high alert. We have more here from Pete Hegseth says that deranged equals allowing your city to burn and law enforcement to be attacked. There is plenty of room for peaceful protests, but zero tolerance for attacking federal agents who are doing their job. The National Guard and Marines, if need be, stand with ICE. So, again, that's just from the comment of Gavin Newsom saying that the Secretary of Defense is now threatening to deploy active duty Marines on American soil against its own citizens. This is deranged behavior. Right. No, that's not what's happening. As you guys see through the video, you're seeing destruction and fire. You're going to see more destruction and fire throughout this video because it doesn't end there. Pete Hegseth has also posted this post from Donald Trump on True Social saying that once great American city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Now, violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try and stop our deportation operations. But these lawless riots only strengthen our resolve. I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, in coordination with all other relevant departments of agencies, to take all such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion and put an end to these migrant riots. Order will be restored, the illegals will be expelled, and LA will be set free. So, yeah. That is what's been going on here. Well, that's what Donald Trump said. I agree. I think all these people need to be arrested here. See, another peaceful protest, and you have these people doing this, right? They're not white. They're not people from here. They all look like they're illegal migrants in our country, waving a Mexican flag. Now, last time I checked, this is what we would consider an invasion and an attack on our country, and you see a fiery vehicle in the background, right? So obviously, this is very peaceful. This is not an invasion. This is just completely fine. Yeah, right. So I hope every last one of these fuckers get deported. Sorry for my language, but I'm sick and tired of allowing this to happen. I think it took way too long for this to engage and to begin. So I think they need to be happening way more quickly. We have this here from next order saying L.A. Mayor Karen Bass slams Trump for deploying troops, and it says she has everything under control. Meanwhile, the camera view next to her shows total anarchy happening live. Democrats lie to your faces. She even goes as far as justifying the riots and says people are upset because federal laws are being enforced and blocking freeways is protected by the First Amendment. Here we go.
It's their First Amendment right. But people should also exercise that right peacefully. We do not want to play into the administration's hands. We're working with officials, we're organizing resources, but what we're seeing in Los Angeles is chaos that is provoked by the administration. When you raid Home Depot and workplaces, when you tear parents and children apart, and when you run armored caravans through our streets, you cause fear and you cause panic. And deploying federalized troops is a dangerous escalation, but we need to be real about this. This is about another agenda. It's not about public safety. There's clearly no plan, and there is clearly no policy. I want the people of Los Angeles to know that we stand with all Angelenos, no matter where you were born. The First Amendment right gives you the ability, again, to protest peacefully. But it does not give you the right to be violent, to create chaos, or to vandalize property. And that will not be tolerated. So I call on all Angelenos to continue expressing your right, your anger, your outrage, but to do it peacefully. And I just have to say that all of you were there Friday. Everybody knows what happened Friday. A workplace, several workplaces were targeted and raids took place. Now in
Yeah. So again, this is her just justifying the riots, being completely fine with it, and that's a problem because she says it's peaceful, but it's not peaceful. We have this here from it says Representative Maxine Warren just at the door. Had just at the door of an ICE facility, slammed in her face back up.
No, I want you to. Hello, Congresswoman Waters. I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Ma'am, we're lobbying securely now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appeal.
I need to get in.
What are you hoping to do, Congresswoman?
I just want to see David Werta. Right.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter the...
Normally, yes.
What is happening
here? Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, and I'm trying to get in to see David Werta, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him. I want to report back to my caucus about what's happening, but they have...
Yeah, and this is a woman that was trying to get into the ICE facility, right? You have this here where that Democrats are now demanding charges be brought against LAPD officers for using tear gas on a crowd that included a baby. The problem that I have with this is another type of emotional manipulation that their Democrats are trying to use to, try to get you to wear out their hearts. But the point being is that why are you bringing your children to this place? This is not a safe place to be. You see the chaos and destruction that's been going on here, and you bring your children. This is not the fault on ICE. They can't dictate on which children or who are not are in the actual facility or in the area here. Stop bringing your children to these situations.
Get down! Get down!
This is what we have here, where people are throwing rocks and bricks, etc., at police officers.
Oh, he got fucked. Oh. Fuck yeah.
Oh my god, he got fucked. Oh, he's fucked.
Gotcha, bitch! Get down!
Exactly. Exactly, right? These are the peaceful protests, and these are also rioters that are condoning this stuff, right? We have this here. I'm not going to show the whole video, but it says LAPD Chief Jim Dono says rioters are now using weapons that can kill, that can unalize his officers. Says he respects ICE. The violence is escalating. It's getting increasingly worse and more violent. We had individuals shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers that can unalive you, which is what's going on here. We have this more where we have LA is occupied territory. But it's a peaceful protest, right? It's not riots at all. You have this here where the FBI is seeking the information about a man who assaulted a federal officer and caused damage to government property in LA this weekend. It says a reward up to $50,000 offered for information leading to his identification, arrest, and conviction. Again, you have this here where this guy is. Obviously, he doesn't look like he's he doesn't look like he's of a white descent, right? So again, I'm not saying that I am a racist towards Mexicans. I have a lot of Mexican friends. Majority of my friends are actually Mexican, funny enough. But the point being here is that if they are of a certain race, right, then you're obviously going to see other things here. That is, you're going to start questioning. And then we have this here where this is where explosions are just here, right? Explosions. Not explosion, but it's a fire that's going on. And this is not a riot, right? This is just not a riot. So again, arrest all of these people. Put them in jail. I'm so sick and tired of this. Arrest all of them. Every last one of them. I do not want them here. I want these people arrested and deported immediately. I don't care. I'm sick and tired of these animals just destroying our country, destroying our cities because the Democrats condone it, and the Democrats are also not punished. All right, guys, that's it for video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends. More to come.